Welcome to American History Gazette. Today we're delving into one of the most intense and transformative events in world history. But we're not just rehashing the stories you already know. This is 10 facts you didn't know about World War II. From covert operations to top secret government programs, get ready to expand your mind and broaden your knowledge about the largest conflict in modern history. Make sure to stick around till the end of the video for a fact that may surprise you. But before we get started, I have a huge announcement to make. Tomorrow, Saturday, June 22nd, I am going to be traveling to Washington, D.C., where I have some amazing stuff lined up for you guys. If you remember, a couple months ago, I had Matthew Costello from the White House Historical Association on the podcast, and afterwards we talked off the record, and he was able to get us a tour of the White House. I also had the senior historian at Arlington National Cemetery, Allison Finkelstein, and she is going to give us a media escort around Arlington National Cemetery. So we're going to be touring the White House, we're going to be touring Arlington, and we're going to be walking around D.C. for about 5 days, getting some great content for you guys of all the national monuments and all the museums. So make sure to drop in the comments anything you want us to film or anything you guys want to see in Washington, D.C., and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Enjoy the video. Number 1. Eisenhower's secret letter. During the planning stages of D-Day, General Dwight Eisenhower, Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force, faced an immense responsibility. Recognizing the unpredictable nature of war, Eisenhower took a remarkable precautionary step. He prepared a confidential letter to be issued in case the Normandy invasion failed. This was to take full responsibility for the failure of D-Day and its consequences. Eisenhower understood the gravity of the Allied invasion of Normandy. The successes of Operation Overlord were crucial to turning the tide of World War II in favor of the Allies. However, the invasion faced daunting challenges, including formidable German defenses and unpredictable weather conditions. Eisenhower, burdened by the weight of command and the potential consequences of failure, wrote the letter on the eve of D-Day. In this secret letter, Eisenhower expressed his willingness to accept full responsibility for the failure of the invasion. He expressed that the Allied forces, comprising troops from multiple nations, faced substantial risks and uncertainties. The letter was a testament to Eisenhower's leadership and sense of duty, reflecting his commitment to accountability and the gravity of the decisions made on June 6, 1944. Fortunately, D-Day proved to be a success, marking a turning point in the war. The Allied forces established a crucial beachhead in Normandy, paving the way for the liberation of Western Europe from Nazi occupation. And Eisenhower's secret letter remained undisclosed for decades. Number 2. Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip was a pivotal initiative for the United States. Recognizing the significant expertise of German scientists, particularly in rocketry and other advanced technologies, the U.S. government embarked on a covert operation to recruit and bring over 1,600 German scientists to America. Among these scientists was Wernher von Braun, a prominent figure in rocket development who had worked on the V-2 rocket program for Nazi Germany. Under Operation Paperclip, von Braun and other specialists were offered immunity from prosecution and employment opportunities within American scientific and military projects. The recruitment of these German scientists was driven by Cold War considerations, as both the United States and the Soviet Union sought to gain the technological superiority. The expertise of von Braun and his colleagues proved instrumental in advancing American missile and space programs, including the development of ballistic missiles and eventually NASA's Apollo program. Operation Paperclip was conducted with secrecy and controversy, as some of the scientists involved had been directly associated with the Nazi regime and its war efforts. Despite these ethical concerns, their scientific knowledge and expertise were deemed critical to American national security interests and the technological advancement during the Cold War era. If you want to learn more about Operation Paperclip, go check out my documentary on the subject, which will be linked in the description below. Number 3. The P-51 Mustang. The effectiveness of bomber missions over enemy territory was significantly enhanced by the development of long-range fighter escorts, most notably the P-51 Mustang. Prior to the introduction of effective fighter escorts such as the P-51, American bombers, particularly the B-17 Flying Fortress, faced severe challenges when venturing deep into enemy territory. The B-17 Flying Fortress and other bombers were capable of delivering devastating payloads, but were vulnerable to enemy fighter planes. Without adequate protection, these bombers suffered heavy losses, especially during the early stages of the war. To address this vulnerability, the U.S. military and aircraft manufacturers focused on developing fighter aircraft with extended range capabilities that could accompany bomber formations all the way to their targets and back. The P-51 Mustang, introduced in significant numbers in 1944, proved to be a game changer. Equipped with long-range fuel tanks, the P-51 could escort bombers deep into enemy territory, engage enemy fighters in dogfights, and provide crucial protection throughout the entire mission. Its speed, maneuverability, and firepower made it highly effective against Luftwaffe fighters, allowing Allied bombers to operate with reduced losses and increased effectiveness. This development had a profound impact on the outcome of strategic bombing campaigns, such as those targeting German industrial centers and transportation networks. With the protection of the P-51 Mustangs, American bombers gained a significant advantage over the Luftwaffe, enabling them to strike critical targets with greater precision and frequency. Number 4. Operation Grief. During the Battle of the Bulge, the Germans launched Operation Grief, a daring and deceptive operation led by SS Commando Otto Skorzeny. This covert mission involved German soldiers disguising themselves as American troops, equipped with captured uniforms, weapons, and vehicles. Their objective was to infiltrate Allied lines and sow confusion. Posing as Americans, they altered road signs, spread misinformation, and conducted sabotage operations behind Allied positions. This psychological warfare tactic aimed to disrupt communications and delay reinforcements, exploiting the chaos of the Ardennes offensive. The success of Operation Grief caused widespread paranoia among Allied forces. General Eisenhower was under intense security during this period. Anyone visiting him, even high-ranking officers, underwent thorough screening to prevent infiltration by disguised German operatives. This thorough security measure reflected the Allies' heightened awareness of the threat posed by the German commandos masquerading as American soldiers. Despite initial successes, Operation Grief faced challenges. Some German infiltrators were captured and revealed details under interrogation, prompting the Allies to implement additional security measures. These included password checks and specific questions about American culture that only genuine U.S. soldiers would know. Number 5. Coca-Cola. During the war, Coca-Cola faced significant challenges in Nazi Germany due to trade embargoes and difficulties importing essential ingredients for its flagship beverage. To navigate these obstacles, the German division of Coca-Cola, under the leadership of Max Keith, developed a new beverage, Fanta. Fanta was created using available ingredients that could be sourced within Nazi Germany's wartime economy. The formulation varied depending on what was locally accessible, such as leftover fruit extracts, apple fiber, and whey. This improvisation allowed Coca-Cola to continue operating in Germany despite the wartime restrictions that hindered the importation of Coca-Cola's essential ingredients. The introduction of Fanta provided a way for Coca-Cola to maintain its market presence in Germany during World War II. The beverage's name, Fanta, is derived from the German word Fantasie, meaning imagination or fantasy, reflecting the creative approach taken to develop the drink under wartime conditions. After the war, Fanta continued to evolve and gain popularity beyond Germany, becoming one of Coca-Cola's global brands. Number 6. Operation Pluto. Operation Pluto, short for Pipeline Under the Ocean, represented a remarkable engineering feat by the Allies. In the aftermath of the D-Day landings in Normandy, securing a reliable supply of fuel for Allied forces advancing through Europe became a critical logistical challenge. To address this need, the Allies devised an ambitious plan to construct an undersea oil pipeline from England to France. The concept behind Operation Pluto involved laying flexible pipelines on the seabed of the English Channel and connecting refineries in southern England to Allied-held ports in France. These pipelines were designed to transport gasoline and other fuels directly across the channel, bypassing vulnerable tanker ships that were susceptible to enemy attacks. Construction on the pipelines began in secret in 1942, with engineers and technicians working tirelessly to overcome technical and logistical challenges. The pipelines, made from special and flexible materials, were codenamed HACE, short for Hollow Anglo-American Iron Sucker. They were laid out from various points along the English coast, including the Isle of Wight and Dungeness, to locations such as Cherbourg and Pointe-en-Bessin in Normandy. Operation Pluto became operational shortly after the D-Day landings in June 1944. The pipelines played a crucial role in sustaining Allied military operations by ensuring a steady and secure supply of fuel to support advancing troops, tanks, and aircraft. This innovative solution significantly reduced the logistical strain on traditional fuel transportation methods, contributing to the success of Allied campaigns in Western Europe. Number 7. Ghost Army. During World War II, the United States deployed a highly secretive and unconventional unit known as the Ghost Army. This unit specialized in deception tactics designed to mislead and confuse enemy forces, particularly during crucial military operations in Europe. The Ghost Army, officially designated as the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, consisted of a diverse group of artists, designers, engineers, and audio technicians. Their mission was to create illusions and simulate large-scale military maneuvers to deceive German forces about Allied troop movements and intentions. One of the Ghost Army's most innovative tactics involved the use of inflatable tanks, trucks, and artillery pieces. These decoys were crafted to look convincingly real from the air and ground, creating the illusion of large Allied formations where none existed. In addition to visual deception, the unit employed sophisticated sound effects and radio transmissions to further enhance the illusion of troop movements and activities. Throughout their operations, the Ghost Army staged numerous deceptive campaigns across Europe, from Normandy to the Rhine River. Their efforts played a crucial role in diverting enemy resources and attention away from actual Allied operations, thereby contributing to the success of Allied offensives. The Ghost Army's operations remained classified for decades after the war, highlighting their significant impact on Allied military strategy and the art of deception in warfare. Number 8. Operation Mincemeat. Operation Mincemeat stands out as a remarkable example of strategic deception employed by the Allies. As part of a broader effort to mislead the Axis powers about Allied intentions, British intelligence devised an audacious plan involving the use of deceased bodies and fabricated documents. In April 1943, British intelligence agents planted false documents on a corpse, which was carefully chosen to appear as a Royal Marine officer. The body, equipped with false identification and misleading documents, was released into the sea off the coast of Spain. The documents indicated plans for an Allied invasion of Greece and Sardinia, suggesting that the Allied forces intended to bypass Sicily, which was the actual target. The deception was meticulously crafted to deceive German intelligence operatives who intercepted the documents. The fabricated intelligence convinced Axis strategists, including German Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, that the main Allied assault would target Greece and Sardinia rather than Sicily. This strategic misinformation influenced Axis troop deployments and defense strategies, diverting crucial resources away from Sicily in the lead-up to Operation Husky, the Allied invasion of Sicily in July 1943. Operation Mincemeat's success in deceiving the Axis about Allied intentions played a pivotal role in the success of the Sicilian campaign. Number 9. Operation Fortitude. Operation Fortitude emerged as a pivotal deception campaign orchestrated by the Allies to mislead German forces about the location and timing of the D-Day invasion. Recognizing the critical importance of maintaining secrecy and surprise for the Normandy landings, Allied planners devised an elaborate and multifaceted strategy to deceive the Germans. Central to Operation Fortitude was the creation of fictitious military formations and activities. The Allies deployed inflatable tanks, trucks, and aircraft that were strategically positioned in southeastern England, visible to German reconnaissance aircraft. These decoys, known as dummy tanks, were designed to mimic real Allied troop movements and deceive German aerial reconnaissance into believing that a large-scale invasion force was assembling near Calais rather than Normandy. In addition to visual deception, the Allies utilized fake radio traffic and coded messages to reinforce the illusion of troop concentrations and operational preparations in the Calais region. This included the establishment of dummy headquarters and the dissemination of false intelligence through double agents and captured German spies. Operation Fortitude played a crucial role in the success of Operation Overlord, the Allied invasion of Normandy on June 6, 1944. By convincing German high command, including Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, that the main Allied invasion would target the Pas-de-Calais region, the deception diverted German reinforcements and resources away from Normandy during the critical early stages of the invasion. Number 10. Hitler's nephew. Despite his infamous uncle's actions and ideology, William Patrick Hitler took a different path by serving in the U.S. Navy. Born in Liverpool, England, William Patrick Hitler was the son of Adolf Hitler's half-brother, Alois Hitler Jr. Due to his family connection, William faced challenges and scrutiny throughout his life. In 1939, fearing persecution under his uncle's regime, he immigrated to the United States, eventually settling in New York City. When the United States entered World War II after the attack on Pearl Harbor, William Patrick Hitler felt a strong sense of duty and patriotism. He voluntarily enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1944, despite his surname's association with one of the war's most reviled figures. Serving as a pharmacist's mate, he worked in hospitals and medical facilities, contributing to the war effort on the Allied side. William Patrick Hitler's decision to serve in the U.S. Navy reflected his rejection of his uncle's beliefs and actions. It also highlighted his desire to distance himself from the dark legacy of Adolf Hitler. After the war, William Patrick Hitler lived a relatively quiet life in the United States, avoiding publicity and attempts to exploit his family ties for personal gain. And that is 10 facts you didn't know about World War II. Make sure to let me know in the comments how much of an expert you were and how many of these facts you already knew. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on our upcoming DC trip and other upcoming videos. Make sure to check out our podcast where we host weekly episodes interviewing best-selling authors and expert historians. If you want to support the channel, our Patreon is in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on our next adventure.